Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Tony's Picks Morning Show. I'm Tony T. We're with you here every day at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time, giving out free picks for today's card. And in today's show, well, picks for you from NFL football doubleheader today. Also, Game 7 of Toronto and Seattle to see who will play the Dodgers World Series to begin on Friday. So the winner of this game will have 3 days off. So they're not going to jump them right into the this World Series here. So we'll have some time off as well. Got action on the ice as well for you guys here. Guys, make sure first thing you want to do is hit that like, that thumbs up. We greatly appreciate it. It helps us build up our audience, and hit that set notification so you're notified when we go live here on the channel. Here, let's first meet the cappers and get right to the picks as we don't mess around here on the Tony's Picks Morning Show. Let's say, Chris, what's going on?
No, not much. Coming off of a 3-1 day yesterday. Had the Blue Jays there, but then the only one I had dropped was took the Raiders at +12. Thought they'd at least show up. They didn't at all. Any opportunity to fade the Chiefs, I try to take. I can't stand them. And then 6-1 or 6-2 altogether off the weekend. Only one I dropped. The other one in college football was South Carolina. Don't know what happened there, but anyway, didn't bet my Rebels. That was ridiculous. But I knew that was going to happen. Like I said, told you guys last week. Lane Kiffin talking that trash to Kirby. So anyway, good one there. But had the Giants. That was my best bet yesterday, and they almost lost that in the fourth quarter. That was insane, fourth quarter. But I still back Jackson Dart. Still love that guy. So anyway, ready to just get to it.
Get to it indeed. Sean, what's going on?
Not much. Just gotta keep it rolling. 6-0 yesterday, NFL, 13-3 run or something like that. We're on a good run there with sports here. So 19-9 last week. Keep it going. Let's go. You know, it's hard to say. We're rolling along.
You're only as good as your next pick, right, Sean? Hammering the leaderboard right now. Big weekend for Sean. Alessandro as well as you.
Yeah, man. Seems like everybody had a good weekend. I went 4-0 yesterday and on Sunday, and then pretty solid college football. The only game I should have probably left alone was that LSU game. That was such bait, and of course I took the bait. But other than that, it was a pretty solid weekend. Can't complain.
Yeah, I can't complain. I won't complain about a 4-0 for me from the NFL yesterday. Thank goodness I picked all the late games because that's where I did my damage. I did not like that the early window, and I kind of stuck with the dogs in the night, most of those dogs. And of course, the Niners getting it done for me as well. So look, well, it's only good as your last pick. So we got today's show to hit. So let's get to it here, guys. NFL. We'll start there. Doubleheader. They spread it out here: 7 Eastern and 10 Eastern. Buccaneers and Lions. Lions still holding 6 here, off an opener of 4. Total 53.5. Of course, Tampa Bay dealing with injuries on offense. The Lions on defense. Houston and Seattle. Your late night game here. We've got Seattle here going to lay 3, total 41.5 there. And, of course, this on their minds will going to be that baseball game. Let's look at the weather in Seattle. 28% chance of rain, 57 degrees. We got the fall weather, very, very light winds. So possible rain, 26% chance of rain. Of course, Detroit's in a dome. So we got to start here with Chris.
Yeah, look at this Texans Seahawks here. Texans trend to the under a good bit here. They're 2-0 to the under in non-conference, and the rest of it 4-1. The rest of their games, away games for the season. So I'm going to take the under in that one. I'm going to take Detroit in the first half. They seem to do better coming out the gate. It's 3.5. We'll take that. But full game, I would more likely lean to Tampa Bay as a road underdog. They're 13-3. Just have the points there. We know what Baker Mayfield likes to do at the end there, try to get clutch and get crazy. So I'll take the 6 full game with the Buccaneers, but give me the Detroit Lions to come out strong here and at least get the first half cover with 3.5.
There we go with Chris. We move on over to Sean.
We'll get a couple totals in these 2 games here. And they'll be the opposite of probably what everybody's thinking. Let's say like under this Tampa Bay Detroit game. Everybody's going to run like, oh, it's Goff and Baker and Tampa score all time. It's a little high here, 53.5. I know we saw a lot of scoring yesterday with the Cowboy high total, but it's a little different scenario here. So give me the under 53.5, and I'll say over the 41.5 or even 41 out there. I see with Houston and Seattle, and I'm not sold on Houston's offensive prowess because, all right, they're off their bye week, which is fine. I don't know if it repaired their damaged offensive line, You beat up a depleted Ravens team that was not even a real NFL team at the time. I mean, let's be honest. They had so many injuries. And then you put 26 up on the Titans. Who the hell are the Titans? Titans are absolutely garbage. They're garbage. Now you can play Seattle, has one of the better defense in the league. Quietly. A quietly very good team, Seattle. Nobody talks about because they're not sexy in any sense of the word. No great superstar. I mean, I guess Smith, the wide receiver, people got him. But really, who do you know? Name one guy in the defense up there. Name one.
I think people are scared of Darnold that he'll turn back to his old form.
Yeah, they're winning. There will be scoring. Let's go over the total. Over game 2.
From Sean, we move on over to Alessandro.
No, yeah. I mean, I'm never going to knock anybody trying to go contrarian there with the under in that first game. I just think it is an over. This defense for the Lions, Brian Branch is missing. Carl Joseph is missing. Terry and Arnold's missing in that secondary. That's 3 big-time key starters gone. There's no way I can't see Baker Mayfield putting on a show here against this secondary. You got Mike Evans coming back into the fold. I do like the 2-touchdown prop with him. And Emeka Ibuka is questionable, but there's still plenty of weapons for Mayfield to throw to. And then Jared Goff's no slouch either. That run game, no slouch either from the Lions. Buccaneers do have a top 10 run defense, but I'm seeing here Levante David's questionable with a knee injury. That's another big-time piece in the middle of that Buccaneers defense. I'll take an over. I know it's a high total, but I like the over there in that first game. And then I actually do like the over in the second game as well. I'll just say it. Jackson Smith and Jigba is making an MVP case already, 700 yards receiving, 6 games into the year, averaging over 100 yards per game. I already touched the over 87 yards and a half prop for Jackson Smith and Jigba. And every single game this year, the longest reception has been Jackson Smith and Jigba for the Seahawks. So that 25 and a half yards, I'll take that as well. And I think this one flies over the total. Only concern is, Sean alluded to it already. The Texans' offensive prowess is kind of questionable. I've seen Stroud struggle communicating at home. So I'm only, a little concerned how that's going to be home of the 12th man, one of the loudest stadiums in the NFL. I just lean Seahawks, and I like the over in that game as well, though.
There we go with Alessandro. Tell you what I think about this game here. Yeah, you look at this defensive rating here on the Chow report here. It's very low on the defensive side here for Detroit. I can't back them here, especially with Baker on the road. They're completing 69% of their passes. Despite the receiver injuries, he just seems to be getting the job done. As a road dog, that's the way you want Tampa Bay and Baker Mayfield. 7-1 as a road dog of 3.5 to 9.5 points. Detroit here facing teams that average 350 yards per game or greater. They're just 1-4 to the spread at home. I'll look at Tampa Bay here at plus the points in that one. Again, the Lions defense to me is the concern. Of course, Baker Mayfield just getting it done. Just getting it done. I don't want to go against him there. I'm going to look at Seattle there. Houston is just as Sean alluded to. They beat up pretty much bad defensive squads. When they face a team with a pulse, they struggled scoring, and this is a tough place to play. Houston here struggled offensively against the Rams, Bucks, and the Jags. Seattle's won 4 of 5. Got to give them that respect. They've defended well. They run well at home here. They're getting good quarterback play at home as well. We'll look here at I'll look here at Seattle in that spot. All right, let's continue here on the Tony Six Morning Show as we continue on and move on over to Major League Baseball. We have a Game 7 in Seattle and Toronto here, ALCS. Moving on here, let's see what we have on the lines here in this game. We've got Seattle and Toronto. Toronto will be home favorite. This one has moved up since the opener to about Toronto $1.26. Total sits at 7.5. We're seeing juice over and under in different books. Different sharp books have juiced over and under. Penny to the over juice, Circa to the under juice there in that one. And we expect George Kirby and Shane Bieber to get the start in this one. Probably the shortest hooks you're going to see in the playoffs here. All men on deck here because they won't play the World Series until Friday. So these pitchers will have Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday off. So 3 days rest here for the winning team as they start the World Series Friday. And we get to start here with Chris.
Yeah, this is a repeat just back to Toronto on this one that we just saw Game 3 where it was 13-4. It's an elimination game here, and you send out Shane Bieber and George Kirby. I guess it's probably going to be a bullpen game sooner than later. Give me the team total over for Toronto. Give me Toronto on the money line, and hell, I might take even the run line with Toronto. I know I said last week they were dead. They woke up, but made a mistake before, previously divorced. So there you go. Anyway, take Toronto, money line, get it done. Big time on the team total over. I think they just crushed Kirby. But we can see some runs in this too. Shane Bieber's no Jim. So give me them to win it all and go face the Dodgers.
There we go with Chris. We move on over to Sean.
Well, I liked Seattle in the over yesterday. I'll say Seattle in the over today. You know, who cares? It's Monday Night Football. You know, I mean, I want to see one of the, obviously Seattle's. I'm pulling for Seattle because I've been waiting for their team for years for their hitters to catch up to their pitching. But if Toronto had Bichette in there, I'd really like them a little bit more against the Dodgers. But that's a big hole in the lineup, and the bullpen just is. I feel at least Seattle would give the Dodgers a gentleman's sweep as opposed to just getting swept. Like Toronto's just going to get wiped out. Like those guys are going to come in and they'll be all over. But Seattle in the over again. I don't have it on the site, nothing like that. Just wait for my Ricky Henderson come in. I ordered a Ricky Henderson slab card. I think it's going to be an 8 PSA coming in the mail today, so that'll make me happy.
Nice. There you go.
That's my baseball for today. I got a 6 the other day, Chris. Did you see it on Twitter?
It was the autograph one?
No. Just a regular, his 1980 rookie. I bought a 6 on eBay. It was like $60. I'm like, I'll get a 6 Ricky. And then the 8 was a little more expensive. It was like $200. But I said, F it. I'm a grown man. I can get me a Ricky Henderson finally.
There you go.
There you go. There you go. With Sean, we move on over to Alessandro.
No, I'm actually thinking over as well, and the Blue Jays team total over, like Chris was saying, the 3.5 or 4.5. If you want, minus 120 or you want plus 150, that's up to you guys. But I do like the Blue Jays team total over. What was the stat I saw here? Springer and Vladdy Jr. are batting 391, 9 for 23 versus George Kirby. So you could take some of their props as well. They are probably juiced, so do with that as you wish. Another guy I was seeing here was Clement from the Blue Jays. Pretty good value, plus 108 on the over hits, runs, and RBIs for him. But yeah, I like the over in this game. I think we see plenty of offense. Like you guys said, probably a bullpen game as well. Don't really want to touch a side in the Game 7. Anything can happen. And also, like Sean said, it's Monday Night Football. Come on.
That's right. Monday Night Football there, but we got more than one TV, right? They're not going to. So anyway, I'm going to look here at I'm going to continue with you. I've had a tough time picking the winner in this series, so I'm just going to stick to the total again, take it over. The Blue Jays have been smashing the ball in the playoffs. We know Seattle, you get them out of that sleep-inducing park. Their bats wake up. I look for an over here. Seattle, both bullpens have been terrible. Seattle bullpen in road playoff games, ERA over 5.5. Toronto's pen in home playoff games, ERA over 7. And Seattle on the road against teams with a 540 to 620 win percentage in their past 25 games, 20-5 to the over. Toronto here and Toronto 4-1 to the over in their 5 home playoff games. Seattle 4-1 to the over in their 5 road playoff games. So this points to me to the over. Look, these pitchers aren't good enough to one of those. Oh, we're gonna have one of those nervous Game 7s. No, these pitching staffs aren't good enough to have a
George Kirby giving up a 298 average against since September 1st, almost giving up a 300 batting average to opposing batters. So
yeah. This Seattle, they're winning despite seeing huge regression from their pitching staff. By the way, I think Edgar Martinez I believe is still the hitting coach over there in Seattle, doing wonders for that team because they finally got the hitting, but the pitching has regressed a little bit for the Seattle Mariners team. But I look for an over in this one. This game will be won by the bats, not the pitching, in my opinion. All right, let's continue here on the Tony Swixon Morning Show. Let's see what we got left. NBA tomorrow, but we got some NHL on the board. We got just a handful of games here for a Monday. Wild Rangers here. We got the Rangers $1.30 total 5.5. Kraken and Flyers $1.26 total 5.5. Sabres and Canadians $1.50 total 6. Jets and Flames. It's the Jets $1.48 total 5.5. Late night tonight. Hurricanes and Golden Knights. $1.10 both sides total 6. Over to Alessandro.
Shoot. I got no hockey in today. Like, haven't even handicapped it. I'm focused on football right now. If you go check out the NFL record, it's pretty good. I think I'm top 10 on the site there in NFL. But hold on, let me look at these hockey games. All right, I have an affinity for the Rangers, of course, but that's a tough spot for me to want to step in front of the Wild. We got a Hurricanes Golden Knights matchup tonight. I'll take the Hurricanes actually on that, -110. Looking to fade Golden Knights, but I will admit I don't think they're going to be as bad as I thought before the season start. They've made some good acquisitions here. Mitch Marner comes to mind, and those two right wingers and left wingers that they have. Yeah, I still like the Hurricanes. I think the Hurricanes are legit. 5-0 to start the year. Let's keep the ball rolling. I don't know. Anybody else got an opinion on this hockey, or is it just me?
Tell me just you, Sean. Anything? You see anything in hockey? You're on mute there, Sean.
We are 1-0 on our end of show hockey picks, but I don't have anything today for hockey.
Nothing there in hockey. All right, just some of the under the radar news out there for some of you guys. I know I've been talking about Scooble a lot, and Scott Boras is his agent. I don't know if you guys caught this, but this didn't really get reported by a whole lot of people. Of course, the people in Detroit are really keeping an eye on this one. I kind of follow the news here. Scott Boras came out today or yesterday over the weekend. They were talking about getting an extension for Scooble, right? Because he's on a contract year. Scott Boras said they are far apart from an extension. They are $250 million apart from an extension. There.
Yeah.
Wow.
He wants 500 and something million is what he wants. From everything I've seen there, I've seen these 250 million away from a thing. So they're expecting somebody else to come in and fill that gap there and snatch him up. So
wait, so hold on. So the Tigers are offering 250 million, and he wants double basically.
Yeah, he wants five. I think he wants 500, and it's either that. I think he wants either 500 or 550 from what I read.
Well, he ain't getting that from. I listen. The Dodgers ain't gonna give him that. The Yankees are selling him that. The Orioles won't give him that.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Dodgers gave him that, to be honest with you. I mean, Sasaki is now a bullpen guy. Kershaw leaves, so you do have an opening in the rotation. So
is he going to take a deferred contract like Ohtani?
They have the money to pay him. They have Guggenheimer is worth $500 billion. They can have a $2 billion, $3 billion payroll. They can do it.
I guess
they have the money to do it. So it's either Dodgers or Yankees or the Mets are in that discussion. And
I think the Mets need a pitcher. He should go to the Mets.
And the deal here is that remember, Scott Boras is the agent, and Scott Boras has a good relationship with the Dodgers because his guy signed with LA. Remember, they had a very good relationship. If you saw that whole process take place in LA, Dodgers have the money to pay it. And we've been saying this all season here that there's trouble in Detroit because Scooball's got Scott Boras as his agent. You know what he wants, right? So. That hit the news wire. Not a lot of talk here, but again, the question is: does Detroit keep him, or do they move him? Do they move him in the winter meetings? That's the big question mark, right? So, if you don't think it can meet, I don't think they can meet his salary demands. Is that's the problem. So, and of course, they said the Dodgers are going to ruin baseball. Boy, and if they get Scooble, they're definitely going to ruin baseball. There's no doubt about that. There, so. We'll see how that transpires. So big news coming out here over the weekend about Tarek Skubal. And, of course, he's represented by Scott Boras, so he's going to go to the highest bidder. That's really what it's going to be. And I don't know. Alessandro, you think Detroit should keep him this year or just sign him on their winter meetings? What do you do?
I don't know, man. I don't like paying $500 million to anybody, so I don't know. Yankees are the type of team that would pay it as well, but it seems like the Dodgers have really been the ones forking it out. And honestly, where would you rather go and play if you were a MLB player? I'd rather be in LA, sunny LA with the nice beaches, nice blonde chicks to look at and stare at. And then you got New York, muggy city, people constantly cussing at you, and you strike out one time and it's in the tabloids. So I don't know. It's pretty obvious why I think LA has the free agency advantage. And
yeah. And don't forget the April-May baseball is much better on the West Coast, right? It's here's
the thing: he takes $500 million there, and right off the bat, he's losing 60% of it. So he comes to Texas, he keeps it all. Not that he's gonna go play for the Marlins, But how about the Astros? Can the Astros? I mean, they're getting rid of Framber. They're not bringing these guys back.
Yep, that's a 10-year, $50 million.
The only thing, we need 10 starters. We need 10 starters nowadays. Well, you're paying $500 million to one of them. So
yeah, but
I
again,
don't know.
your company's worth half $500 billion. That's the thing here. The Guggenheim, these are, they don't mind having a $3 billion payroll when you're worth $500 billion. That's sick. It's sick, but that's what they want to do, and they're going to ruin baseball.
Yeah. So. But does he want to go there and be a 5-inning pitcher, 4-inning pitcher?
I don't know. That's the question. But not when you get to the postseason. Look at the bats that you have in the postseason, right? That's the difference. They pulled them in the postseason. Detroit could not hit in the postseason. That was the problem.
They didn't sign anybody. Who's their lineup? Detroit goes out here now and pulls in Schwarber or Alonso and puts him at first base. I feel like that doesn't help the offense out. Go get a bat.
The most valuable franchise still in all of baseball is the New York Yankees, $8.2 billion. Dodgers are right behind them at $6.8 billion. So our money is.
But the Yanks ain't spending that money.
No, I know.
But spending that money.
It's just, the Yankees have the money to spend. They just refuse to spend it. So, yeah.
Yeah.
And why would you? Why?
I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree.
Seattle spends X amount. Yeah. Cleveland spends X amount. Tampa Bay spends X amount. And they all make the playoffs every year. Why? And they're that close to getting to the World Series, those small market teams. I mean, the Stros are small market. If Cleveland spent $5 million on a bat, they might make a World Series.
Tampa Bay Rays, I know they didn't make the playoffs this year, but year in, year out, they're in the race as well. So, yeah. I'm with you.
Yeah, and also, too, when you think about this, attendance is not very good in those cold weather cities in April and May. They're playing to a lot of empty seats, so it's hard to get back that money just because of geography for some of these teams.
The attendance may not be good in Detroit. It's not a problem in New York or Boston. Yeah, cold weather city like Pittsburgh. Yeah, who's going to put? Nobody's going. The team stinks. We're not going to go out when it's 45 and rainy. Yanks will have a sellout in a overcast, rainy day. It might be snowing, and then they'll cancel the game after a 4-hour delay because they just made $10 million on beer and some Pepsi and pizza. That's a Detroit problem because they don't have fans.
Yeah,
that's not a New York Boston problem.
Yeah, there's a reason they play a lot of day games over there. So we love day games, but they play a lot of day games over there for that reason because they can't draw at night. But
Ron.
Ron is
not going anywhere.
Oh, yeah.
That's why he gets traded to the Orioles in the offseason.
I'll never forget Freddie Freeman. Freddie Freeman said he'd never leave the Braves. No dollars amount would get me to leave Atlanta. I love this. Oh, wait. Okay. LA money started talking.
Yeah, of course. Also,
everybody has a price.
Yeah, but they didn't pay him. But they weren't going to pay him.
No, I know, but you do have athletes that do take the hometown discount. I know it's hockey. McDavid comes to mind.
Yeah, I
don't know if you want to win. I think that's the way. I don't see too big of a difference between 10 million. Obviously, there's a huge difference between 10 million and 50.
Well, for Skubal, it's a big difference because he stays there. He pitches once a week. They're not winning because Skubal's there. They need some offense. He could say, "Listen, I'll take less. Go sign Schwarber and Alonso. Go sign, get another bat. Go. I don't know where you're going. Like Javi Lopez had a nice first half, and then he got back to, or Javi Baez. I'm sorry, he had a nice first half, and then he got back to being the bust that he was since he was supposed to be at 22 an All-Star. He's not. Gleber's a nice player. He's not an All-Star. He's a nice cog. He's not leading your team. Torkelson hasn't taken a step forward. Riley Green's solid, but you need more than that.
Also, Ranger and Framber are free agents coming into the winter meetings, so that's something to keep an eye on there. Who picks those two up as well? So 3 pitchers, going to be a lot of discussion over this winter meeting now. I think now with the salaries going to sky high, I think baseball is going to make some of the headlines during the winter meetings because of all these top flight free agents.
Let's go get Charlie Morton. Yeah, that's a great thing. Montero. I mean, this is the guys they picked up for the big push.
Flattery.
I mean, he just had a crap year. When he's on, he's pretty solid, Flannery. But again, that was your number 2, and he had a bad year.
Casey Baez. We didn't even see Sawyer Gibson Long in the end at the end there. They put a guy with an 87. If you look at the last pitch that they lost, there was an 87-mile-per-hour fastball they lost on. That was a losing pitch. And a 3-2 pitch, 87
Andrew
miles
says
per hour.
Alonso to the Sox. I think Alonso to Cleveland makes sense.
I'm greedy and I want him on the Yankees, but that's not going to happen.
Well, that's a good spot for him.
Yeah.
An old guy.
Cole coming back.
Old guy who hits home runs and strikes out. It's perfect. Perfect for him. Hits right in.
All right. We got interesting talk here. We'll keep an eye on baseball here as it's gone. There's no salary cap in baseball. We could see some work stoppage because of it, right? There's some small market led by the Colorado Rockies owner who's angry at baseball. So we'll see what happens here. All right, now it's time for our parlay.
It's baseball's fault.
I know, right? It's time for our parlay purple segment where Captain's giving a parlay, team player prop, game of the future. We start with Chris.
So the home run prop is going to be one that's on the video. You guys can go check out the rest of them. But Andre Jimenez, big sleeper. Last time he faced Kirby Game 3, he was at plus 1,300, hit a home run off of him, came back the next day and did it again. We're taking him again today. They've dropped him down to 880. I guess they're on to him. But he's a good sleeper pick for that one for the Blue Jays there. And then I'm going to you can either take Gibbs for 2 touchdowns, or probably my favorite is Amon-Ra St. Brown for 2 touchdowns at plus 500. You look at what Tampa Bay is allowing. They're allowing a whole lot to wide receiver 1. So we'll take Amon-Ra St. Brown for 2 touchdowns tonight.
There we go with Chris. Move on over to Sean.
We'll go to NFL tonight. Baseball, I'll give you the records. College football, we're 14-15 minus 350. So that's a loser. Hockey, we're 1-0 plus $100. MLB for the season, 86-69 plus 24-10. Nice. NFL, 8-5 plus 250. I keep the records of the free picks because it's only fair. So we're going NFL. Tampa Bay under 53.5. Seattle over the 41. Straight, please. You bet all these straights. You're up money. You parlay them. You're in the chat complaining, and I'm laughing at you, calling you a poor. Let them straight. You're up money.
Up money there with Sean. Move on over to Alessandro.
I'm actually on 2 touchdown props as well. Mike Evans for 2 touchdowns, Jackson Smith and Jigba for 2 touchdowns. If you do want to parlay that, it's 65-1. It is 6-1, 8.5-1 for these guys individually. And what Chris said, if you want to throw in Amon-Ra St. Brown, you touch all 3 of those straight. One of them probably will get you up. So, yeah, betting straight's probably the way to do it. But if you want to chase that generational wealth, I'm not going to judge.
There you go. From Alessandro, I'll give you a side in the baseball game. I gave a total. I'm going to go with the Toronto Blue Jays. I had them when they lost game 1. I bet on them when they lost game 1. I got some good value there, so I'll stick with them here in this one. Just looking at the line here, we have now seen a 6.5 on Detroit at South Point. We're seeing 6 with heavy juice, over juice in Circuit and Bet Chris. So 2 of the 3 sharpest books in the world here are maybe leaning to 6.5. So if you're looking at the dog, wait for that 6.5 to hit, because we're seeing heavy juice on the 6 right now on the Detroit Lions side. All right, we got you through our parlay purple segment. Now it's time to see what we have for sale over at Tony's Picks, heading to a big week of action. Of course, we got baseball still on the docket here. World Series starting on Friday. NFL, college football with big cards coming up for you as well. NBA returns tomorrow. Action on the ice. Here we go. It's going to start getting hot and heavy now with all these sports overlapping. Of course, guys, click the link in the description and land right on over to our site over at Tony's Picks right now. We'll see here what Chris has for sale over at the site. Head into a big week of action. Chris, what do you got for sale?
I'm going to have you guys a best bet in the Blue Jays-Toronto game tonight. It's not a side. It is a total. The other one I've got in for Monday Night Football there, I will be turning those into best bets. I thought I did that last night, but I will have 2 packages for you here in about 5 minutes. But single plays on those, no 3-packs today. We're doing that. And then we're back to some football tomorrow with college football, and we'll see what pans out for the World Series. I'll be covering that. Basketball is back tomorrow. You guys know I cover that as well. I'll be looking at those. There's 2 games, I believe, on the board for there. So I'll be looking at that too. And then we'll just continue to do NFL and finish that out. So, almost on the long-term, short-term there, you're going to get several different things from NBA, college football, NFL coming up. And as we finish baseball, you'll get that as well. 2-for-1 capper. You guys see who's on the leaderboard. These guys are hot right now. Everybody's doing real well. Watch it every day. And so hop on there with those guys. Let everybody make money for you. And then use the promo code TonyT at checkout. Save you 15%. And let's just keep trying to win.
Yep, get on board with Chris over at Tony's Picks. Long subscriptions, a way to go. Also have his best bets on the board for you momentarily. So get on board with Chris over at Tony's Picks. They're coming up with a big week of action. Remember, the promo code Tony T will save you that 15% off. All right, let's see what's rolling over at Tony's Picks. See what Sean's got for sale. Sean, unit leader over at Tony's Picks right now, approaching 5,100 units of profit. Document over on the site that's based on $100 unit wager size. Sean, what's for sale?
Some NFL for tonight, and I got loaded up college. I got to do my write-ups. We already got, football for NFL and college this weekend. So there you go. We'll dip it. I think I added an NBA. Is the NBA? I don't know. Sometimes I load it up. I don't know. I think I have it on your site for tomorrow, I believe. Is there NBA? There it is. We got NBA.
An NBA already.
Wow. We got two. That's two. We're on pace for like 1,000 NBA games.
Wow.
So yeah, there is that. So listen, I'm the go get a weekly, go get a pair me up with the hockey and NBA guys. I'll be concentrating on football still. So, but whatever. We had a nice run still. Let's keep it going. 2 months left in the year. I don't know. Let's just one day at a time. Excited to win, but it's a new day. We're only as good as today's bets.
That is true. That is true. that is no doubt about that. Guys, so get on board with Sean over at Tony's Picks. You see the great results there, all documented over at Tony's Picks. They're green across the screen here, not only this year, but the 30 days, the 7-day, the yesterday, a monster day yesterday from Sean. So get on board there. You can see our one-day passes, our profit guarantee. They must earn a profit amount purchased will be credited back to your account for site credits. That's profit guaranteed. So get on board with Sean over at Tony's Picks. Use a promo code Tony T. That's 15% off. All right, let's see what's rolling over at Tony's Picks right now. See what Alessandro's got going on. Alessandro come up on Monster Day yesterday as well. Hot in the NFL. What you got for sale, Alessandro?
Yeah, I got both of those Monday Night Football games. You guys already heard what I had to say about the totals in those games, but I do have a side in both of those games tonight. You can go scoop that up for $19. Yeah, I'm super hot right now in the NFL. I think I'm top 5 on the site in 2025 in the NFL. Don't want to jinx it or anything, but we're about 7-8 units up. And just keep the ball rolling, one day at a time. Do the homework, and good things should happen. But, yeah, use the 2-for-1 capper promotion, the Tony T discount code at checkout. Get that 15% off. And when these weekends get around, you guys got to hop on a 3-day pass. I also have UFC I put out. I did go 2-2 on UFC. I like to chase dogs. I'm sorry. Well, who got it done for me there? Mike Malik got it done, and then Ayman Zahabi, though. Those were 2 slight favorites, -115, -130. So going 2-2, we got to eat the juice. But next weekend with the big-time pay-per-view, I'm expecting some profit in UFC. Obviously, college football, NFL football on the weekends as well is going really well for me right now. So, yes, hop on a weekend 3-day pass, and let's make some money.
That's right. Get on board with Alessandro over at Tony's Picks. Best bets and more up there. Long-term subscription. You guys like that 7-day pass here early in the week, especially with all these sports overlapping now. NFL, college football. Alessandro's in action in UFC as well. And, of course, hockey and more. So get on board with Alessandro over at Tony's Picks. Look at that 7-day all sports pass. That's the way to roll. Use that promo code Tony T to save that 15% off. All right, guys, I've got a best bet on the board right now over at Tony's Picks here from NFL. So get on board with me, coming off a big day yesterday. And, of course, pairing me up with your favorite capper with the 2-for-1 capper promotion. So get on board. All right, guys, we're just, 2 weeks away here from the start of the college basketball, if you can believe that. So we're not too far away there. Guys, make sure you guys visit our YouTube channel over at Tony's Picks. Head on to over to the YouTube. Hit the search Tony's Picks. Find our channel. Hit that like. Hit that subscribe. Lots of great content there. You have come to our homepage. You're going to find our great content. Our compilation videos are up there for you here on the channel, as well as we can find Chris's home run prop video up there as well. A lot of great content, as I said, on the channel. NFL picks, our college football picks up there as well. MLB up on the board. So we got a lot of content for you guys here on the channel. NHL with its own playlist there. Fight picks, videos, and more. Of course, Rod with the shorts NHL playlist. Guys, check it out there. Hit the live tab if you want to watch a replay of our show. That's where you're going to find our live show on replay. Ramon with the night moves there overnight to show there. A complete rundown of the games. Happy hour with Rod coming back here. It is Monday through Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern time. So check out the happy hour You often see Ron Crawford in there. You're going to see Brian in there and more. So check it out, the happy hour. Great content from all the guys there. So check it out over on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. Of course, Chris, that home run hit list, a big hit.
Yeah, it's been pretty popular. Yesterday, I think it was a little bit light and quiet. We did hit 2. We had Vlad and we had Josh Naylor to get it done. These have become just really hard to decipher who's going to show up. I would tread lightly tonight with George Springer. Apparently that knee injury where he got hit the other night is still affecting his swing. It did last night. Now he almost went, but then he struggled. Cal does not look good tonight. He's 2 for 11 against Bieber. I never talk anybody off of him anymore. I got tired of doing that. I think recently my favorite comment has been to tighten up my research and stop overthinking it. So I guess I need to check and see what these guys had for breakfast or how they're feeling, because I don't know how else to really tighten up my research there. I think over 220 wins in the season is pretty good research, but I'll take it. I don't care. It's funny to me. We're winning, we're cashing, so we're going to continue that through the World Series. I would have you guys an NHL one, but I'm having the worst time. I'm gonna have to reach out to Rod and see how to pronounce these guys' names. It is crazy, but I'll get you something with NHL, something with NBA. We'll get that done. I've been doing some personal research on NHL and winning some goal scorers. Their names, I'm just like, oh my god, how do you say that? I don't want to screw anybody's name up, but anyway, yeah, we're gonna keep putting out the prop videos. Everybody loves it, and it's fun to do, and I just appreciate all the support.
You go there from Chris. Of course, Sean, we got you here on the mornings, and you pop in some of the chats.
Yeah, like the night shows, I pop in the afternoon stuff sometimes. But yeah, mornings, let's go. That's what we get to do. A lot of videos in the morning, get them all done.
That's right. And then, of course, Alessandro got you on the morning. We're seeing a lot of the shows here on the Tony's YouTube channel.
Yes, and no, I haven't been putting out these UFC videos, but we got a pay-per-view this weekend. I definitely will put a video out for you guys. I'll go fight by fight, break down every single one. And then probably Friday after weigh-ins, I'm going to give you guys a parlay. This is a big week, UFC. Like I said, I haven't been doing that well the last 30 days in UFC or MMA, but it's time to get it, bottom line. I love this pay-per-view card. I was just talking about how dogs aren't cashing. The dogs cashed this past weekend. Brendan Allen gets it done in the main event. I did not see that coming, I will admit. He's a guy that struggled in the big fights, and he stepped up and rose to the occasion finally. That was good to see for him and anybody that backed him. Props to you. I didn't go too crazy. I don't like touching these fat favorites too much. I did sprinkle a little parlay with the Ritter, and nothing hurts more than when a guy quits on the stool and you got money on him. It's cowardly. Go out there and get knocked out. That's all I got to say.
There's a respected bettor I follow. I know maybe Sean also follows because we see him a lot on VSiN. There's a guy, Gambler Lou, who is calling out the UFC for their issues with the judges in some of these decisions. Probably saying that there's some crookedness going on. I responded to one of the tweets. He kind of retweeted my tweet back to him on it because I kind of mentioned WWE there and there. But he's a very respected man in the UFC betting community, and really calling out this UFC here for their decisions. What are you seeing here with the decisions there in the UFC?
Yeah, if it benefits Dana White's pockets, that's how the decision's going to go. If it's a close fight, 50-50 fight, think about who's it going to benefit more for Dana. That's sad, but that's the truth. Every now and then you'll see like a country you never really heard of in a new market that the UFC is trying to get into, and they will definitely set up a fight for that guy. I don't know. Duplessis comes to mind when they were trying to get into the South African market. Tons of easy opponents for him to go and get through there on his title run. O'Malley comes to mind. He's not really, a market or anything. It's just a trendy social media type guy, TikTok presence. Anytime you see something like that, just, I don't know. It's no longer what it used to be, man. If I'm being honest, it's sad. I grew up loving MMA. Like I said, I used to fight, but it's just not what it used to be, man. It's circus is all I can say. Yeah,
it seems the issue there is with the decisions there, issues there. I don't know if you delve much at all. UFC, Sean knows a lot of people that in this arena here. You probably follow Gamble Luke because he's very well respected. Anything so that's there, Sean?
No, I agree with what he said and what I said. Like there's. I hate to say it's like fixed, but it's like boxing. You got people in there going to make a decision based on what they're being told or what's talked about behind closed doors. Like, this goes on. We could do X, Y, Z down the road. Of course, that's going to weigh on their decisions.
When the promoter is the one who gets to make the matchups, you have a conflict of interest.
Now, who assigns the judges? Who assigns the judges? Is it the state?
Each state has a state athletic commission, and Nevada's about as crooked as you can get. I've had some fights out here in Nevada. It's crooked. First off, it's amateur MMA, so I'm not even going to compare it to what the UFC does, but I've had to weigh in before. I step on the scale, and I never saw my opponent step on the scale. And, of course, the opponent that I had to fight that night was 6'3". I'm 5'9". So you think that was a rigged fight against me? Yeah, well, I still got it done. But I've also had to go the other way. Where I almost broke my orbital bone, eye swollen shut because I can't even touch this guy because the range – it's all fixed matchmaking. That's mainly the main thing I see is fixed matchmaking, especially on the regional scene. You can just tell by the two guys walking out. One guy looks like an action figure. The other guy looks like he just got off of a construction job. Come on.
There you go. Have you followed UFC at all, Chris?
Oh no, yeah, I don't do anything with that or watch it or any of that stuff at all. And I had an encounter with somebody in the UFC. I won't mention names back when I was in law enforcement, and I will say that was probably one of the toughest fights I ever had to be in. So I don't want to mess with those boys.
So, let me give you another example. So I had a fight once, and he was a coach that would stop by the gym and on Saturdays and do like an hour class kind of, right? And I told him, hey, I'm fighting next weekend. He goes, I'm judging. I'm like, oh, wow, you're judging the fight. And he's literally trained me, right? I won that fight by split decision. The only judge that didn't give me the nod was that judge.
Oh, Jesus.
He was like trying to act like he's not in favor of him. If that make any sense?
Right. He's trying to prove a point.
Won the fight too. I clearly won the fight, but he gave it to the other guy. That type of shenanigans is what goes on. Yeah, I never spoke to that guy again. Put it that way.
Yeah, because I guess it's that judge's job. I guess pays pretty well. So I guess of course you're going to hear it right from the other guy. So wow, we're there. Yeah, fits matchmaking, no different than boxing, right? You see they used to talk about Julio Cesar Chavez. His record was inflated by facing Tijuana taxi cab drivers. That's what I grew up listening to there. So yeah, it's a lot going on there. All right, yep, a lot of coaching changes there in college. Yeah, they couldn't beat Stanford. Yeah, that's always a trick spot going out there to the West Coast. Stanford hasn't lost a home game, so they came out and showed up there. For Andrew Luck, I think Andrew Luck is on the sidelines, by the way. I've seen him on the sideline some of those games. So he does rally the troops there, and they want to play for him at home. So there's a little bit of something there going on there with Stanford at home. They've won and covered, not covered, but they won the games there. All right, that's going to do it for the Tony Morning Show. We're back again here tomorrow live at 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. We introduce the NBA for this next season. Houston, OKC, Game 1. Warriors and Lakers in Game 2. And you're not going to see LeBron James. He's out with sciatica. I thought only truck drivers got that, but he's got sciatica there, so he's out. That's the first time I've seen sciatica. I guess when you approach mid-40s, I guess that's when you get the old man. The old man, maybe we'll have a prostate issue come up too on him. I don't know, but
sure.
There you go. Sciatica's a first. There from the sitting on the bench too many times. Yep, there we go. All right, guys. Any other notable injuries tomorrow? Jalen Williams is questionable. The good Jalen Williams here for OKC tomorrow. He shows up as questionable. And there we know Van Fleet is out for Houston. The point guard is out towards ACL in a workout, I believe it was, if I was not mistaken. Mm-hmm. And it looks like
we lost the Grizzlies lost Scottie Pippen Jr., so we lost another one. We've dropped another person. I think it's something to do with his foot or his leg or his ankle. I gotta look into it, but I'm thinking, what are you guys doing? Everybody's with an ankle injury. What are y'all practicing? God.
There's this Instagram account I follow. It's called Goda. People are running with crooked feet, apparently. They're not keeping their feet straight, and that's what's causing all these lower body injuries. I don't know.
That's usually crooked feet comes from carrying too much weight. So maybe these guys, the muscles they're carrying too much weight because of the muscle development. That's where you get the crooked feet from. Right. So there you go. A lot of questionables on the OKC side off the bench. Jimmy Butler come to questionable. The Warriors about a good number of their guys. And Moody is out, by the way. Moody and Melton will be out tomorrow for the Warriors tomorrow. Jimmy Butler is the only starter that's questionable there. So we're getting ready for the start of the NBA. Looks like the Laker lineup is going to be Doncic, Vincent, Reeves, Alcamura and Ayton. DeAndre Ayton, now a Laker, coming over. Remember, he got cut by Portland. They didn't want him. And of course, Lakers are great at signing those buyout guys. So there you go. You got a buyout guy in the starting lineup. That's not.
I'll tell you what. Solo talked about it a couple episodes ago with this AJ Jabansa kid. He looks like a man amongst boys. And I saw a preseason game of him. That's the type of kid that probably didn't even need to go to college. Just NBA, straight out of high school. I don't know. I'd like to see that rule again. I know we got the NIL, but there's certain guys there that don't even need to go play college ball. And he's probably one of them. So I'm checking out BYU, and we'll see where he gets drafted too.
Yeah, we'll see what rolls there. Of course, Avi is getting a lot of hit, but he's a very small guy. We don't even know if he'll even see the NFL with this size. So
I'll take a 7th round shot on Pavia. Nothing wrong with that in my eyes.
Make it like a Taysom Hill or something like that. We'll see what happens. All right, that's the deal for the Tony Morning Show. We're back tomorrow with another show. Hit that like, subscribe. Any closing thoughts from anyone?
Make it a winning day.
Making a winning one. We'll goodbye, guys. You guys making a winning one. We're back tomorrow here on the Tony Morning Show.